It was just one of those things where I thought, whatever it takes, we need to get to her, we need to be by her side, we need to help her in whatever way we can, and we need to tell this story. I remember the day so clearly. I came across this article written by a friend of mine, and in all the years that I'd worked with complex needs, I had never seen the likes of anything like this.
We'd seen the photograph literally 2 days before we actually met her. After that, it was just chaos, just trying to figure out how do we get there, how do we meet her, how do we get permission to get into the hospital, how do we navigate our way through tons of press, tons of reporters, journalists, cameras.
And I remember walking in, it was a small room, and I saw Roona. And I think it was just a lot of silence, just to process what I was seeing. Our assistant director, Ananya Roy, was the only person in the hospital who knew their specific dialect. So we became the channel of communication with them and the hospital, with them and the press. We also became the people they looked at for support, for protection. After a few surgeries, when the surgeries were successful, the world moved on and we remained.
Roona's parents are from a tiny little village called Jarania Khola, which is in the northeast of India.
From Bangalore, from our doorstep to Roona's doorstep, it took 16 hours.
We went to Tripura around 14 to 15 times over the course of 7 years. We made several trips to Delhi.
It was one of those things where no matter what was happening in our lives, if there was an important event, we dropped everything and left.
We would try and budget as many days as is possible, beg, borrow, steal to kind of stay in the dingiest place just so that we could afford another day to kind of spend with them.
In the beginning, it was really hard to get funding, and I wrote to about 350 of my loved ones and I said, I'm not going to ask again, I've never asked before, but if each of you can contribute approximately $15, I think we can do this. And in no time, we raised about $35,000, which set us off on that path to production.
Usually, you have a very defined crew, you know who your cinematographer is, you know who your sound person is, etc. But we didn't have the budgets for that. It was difficult to block dates. We'd pick up the phone, reach out to our network.
And I remember thinking, can we sustain this commitment to her? Can we sustain our own endurance? I think I made a commitment to Roona. We wanted Roona to live, and I think that's what kept us going.
There was this dream of a day in which Roona would be able to play as a regular child. So it was something that we could always look forward to. So if we ever needed motivation, we just need to close our eyes and think of that moment when that would happen.
The thing about Roona is she had so much spirit. She was so animated. I love that, we would tickle her and she would laugh, and she just enjoyed being with us.
Fatima was a mother. And what I've seen of mothers are warriors, and she was that from the day we met her to now.
What's most inspiring about her love, and it is her love for Roona that is the heart of the story. That is the anchor of this film, because it was unwavering. And for her, every single day that Roona survived was a really hard-won victory. The absolutely biggest challenge was losing Roona. I don't think that anything stands in comparison.
We got the call and we were in a state of absolute shock. We were all really silent. We got there. He stayed true to his promise. They waited for us. The moment we arrived, the funeral proceedings started.
I do not think I can estimate the gravity of the impact her story has had on me. It's still unfolding. But what I do know is that the tragedy of losing her has never taken away from the hope.
After we met Roona and the family, we started to get into why, Roona came to be the way she was. And as we went on and, interviewed people, understood more, I think what we started to realize was it is a very complex situation.
We sat there in front of thousands of hours of footage and we thought to ourselves, this is too overwhelming. So we decided to let Roona lead the way.
After battling to tell this journey after 7 years, we hoped that festivals world over would kind of gobble it up, and that's not how it was. We were a little bit disillusioned, and then out of nowhere came Netflix, and they believed in the story.
It means absolutely everything to us that this film will be in millions of people's living rooms, because it means that Roona will live on just as we dreamed she would.
The experience of making this film has definitely made me a more aware filmmaker, a more sensitive storyteller. It's the stuff of life.
Finding this story was exactly like falling in love. You don't know how, you don't know why, but you just do. A love story between a mother and a daughter, and a love story between us and this little girl. So if I were to summarize Rooting for Roona, it would be that it is a love story.